You may have heard the saying, life is what happens to you when you're busy making other plans.
Well, for one Portland woman, that has proven to be true. Fox 12's Stephanie Domrot joins us now in studio with her incredible story. Stephanie?
Yeah, one Portland woman had her world turned upside down when she received the results of a DNA test. But despite the obstacles, she's showing us there are reasons to be thankful even when things don't go as planned. With every splash, synchronized swimmer Michelle Bennett shines.
I have been a synchronized swimmer since I was 11. I saw it on the Olympics in 1996. I was like, oh, I have to do that.
She has a smile that's hard to miss, even in a pool.
I just think it's so fun to be in the water upside down, like all these different, it's like dancing in the water.
A joy driven by swimming, but mostly for living and loving those around her. Michelle and Mike Bennett are newlyweds, a time of life filled with plans for the future. But for her, also a time to look back at something she's long carried with her after a DNA test kit changed her life.
I got 23andMe on a whim, to find out if I was 100% Ashkenazi Jewish or something, if there was anything else in my gene pool. And then to find out that I had this major predictor of my future health was difficult for sure.
In 2013, Michelle found out she has a mutation of her BRCA gene, which means she's at a high risk of developing breast cancer.
Mike and I started talking about a family and having kids, and I just had this kind of nagging feeling that I wasn't up for the risk of being pregnant with my mutation and my elevated breast cancer risk.
To reduce the risk, she made the brave decision to undergo a double mastectomy, removing both breasts. She took to social media to share her story, including a road trip to celebrate the parts of her she would soon tell goodbye.
Every time there'd be something exceptionally beautiful and we were alone, we went to a lot of places really early. My husband would be like, "Have your boobs ever seen a view that beautiful?" And I would be like, "No."
From the wilderness of Joshua Tree National Park to the sands of Death Valley, Michelle shared her love for adventure, but also her fragility.
People have been so incredibly supportive. I get emotional not thinking about the surgery, but thinking about my community and how people just came out of the woodwork and were just so incredibly kind and supportive the entire time.
All right, Michelle, what's for dinner?
Hi.
But during surgery a few months later, another unexpected twist. The doctor found a small cyst in one of her breasts. 5 days later, she'd hear the words she hoped she'd never hear. She had cancer.
That one was pretty shocking. I had no inkling that I had breast cancer until 5 days later when the doctor called.
Despite her diagnosis, Michelle says she feels lucky she had the surgery and was surrounded by love.
People are going to think they're sad tears, but they're not. They're happy tears. I feel really lucky to be who I am and to have the family and support, my husband. I think that I had known that I was at high risk for so long, and I feel really prepared in so many ways.
She's now in the next stage of her battle, undergoing chemotherapy, sharing her process with her thousands of followers, and facing whatever challenges come her way, including the ones in the water.
It was my duet partner's idea, and she's like, "Hey, there's a meet in Palm Springs in April. Should we go?" And I'm like, "I can't go to that, I'm on chemo."
But her body had other plans, and in the middle of treatment, she performed at a swim meet in Palm Springs.
It was fabulous. It was so fun. It was in the sun. It was like palm trees on one side and mountains on the other. I just think it's amazing, and I'm so proud of myself for doing that.
It's an example, she says, that we are stronger than we think and that challenges are worth taking, whether in the water, in love, or in living every day. Now, Michelle tells me she has a 1 in 10 chance that her cancer will recur, which are better odds than most because it was found so early. She and her doctors say her story is a reminder of the importance of knowing your family history and having regular visits with your doctor. Kim and Shauna, back to you.
Really great story, Stephanie. Thank you.
Boy, she is inspiring, isn't she? Thank you, Stephanie. A big